So many people on BookTok are just absolutely brainless. They cannot think for themselves. Even if you tried to like insert information with a fucking needle into their brain, they would not get it. It would not receive to wherever it needs to go. Hi, hello, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brendan, and I hope you enjoy the ride. I have a little bit of a rant review, or a rant review. It's not a review of BookTok maybe. It's just a regular rant. I'm not gonna be naming names or anything. I'm not going to be mentioning any names or anything. And also I want to put a little disclaimer at the start of this video that this is not representative of all of BookTok or the book internet or whatever. This isn't being made to be elitist or classist or whatever. I'm just frustrated at the way that publishing and the book industry and everything is going, because now books are being made as trends. And yes, I read trendy books. I have before, but I've read them when I was a kid, and I'm trying to find more stuff at an advanced level that people just aren't reading at. And I've been thinking about this a lot because of that girl on BookTok that was talking about, how fanfic is being written at a higher level than books are today, like that are made for adults, that are actually being published and having money made from them, which I think is such an interesting thing. I think she was absolutely correct. I agree with her fully. I fully agree with her. And I was just thinking about it, and the more I thought about it, the more upset I got. For example, I've heard people saying that The Hunger Games is not political. You mean the novel that's about sending children to a death tournament and segregating them isn't political? Reading is there to make you think. Reading builds empathy. It builds complex thinking skills. It builds the skills that you need for life. I think that reading is such an important thing that somebody can do, especially if they're doing it right. And I'm not saying you always have to read to be learning something or figuring something out. You can read for fun and pleasure. You can read the stupid ass books. Like, I think I'm about to read Oh my god, I can't speak. I think I'm about to read Heated Rivalry, which it's a BookTok book. It's a dumb romance, but the thing is, I think that if you want to do that, you should still be challenging yourself. If you stop challenging yourself, it's just an issue. What's the point in reading then? Because you shouldn't be reading to turn your brain off. Imagine how insulting it is to the author of a book that you're reading. They're like, oh yeah, I read this book so I can turn my fucking brain off. Hello? Yes, you can escape into these fantastical worlds, but I feel like every novel should have some form of criticism of the current going-ons of the political landscape, since a lot of BookTok is set in the States. I live in Canada, so it's a little bit different here, but I think it's still important to learn about these things, whether it's indirectly or direct. I also feel like that books should be able to explore darker themes and taboo subjects without being criticized for saying that the author is wrong, or that the author believes that this is a good thing, or that they're automatically romanticizing things because they're speaking about it in their book. And I just think that isn't correct. It's not right. Because, for example, Lolita, I know that there's a huge online conversation about Lolita. I believe that that book should have never been turned into a movie. It just doesn't work that way. Movies, while important, don't cover all of the complex feelings and thoughts that a character can be having throughout a novel. And I feel like a novel like Lolita that deals with pedophiles and predatory behavior towards children requires a lot of care and respect. I haven't read it myself. I'm a bit uncomfortable with reading it, and that's okay. But I do think that there should be a space for books like these to exist in the bookish community, and people should be able to read them without facing criticism and being called a pedophile. Once again, people lack critical thinking skills. In high schools, teachers are talking about how in high schools, these people aren't even reading at a middle grade fucking level. They're below that. People can't comprehend what they're reading, and it's leaking outside of the book community. It's leaking outside of the publishing community, where if somebody says something, it'll be taken so out of context because people can't even recognize context clues. Where did common sense go? What happened to common sense? Common sense doesn't exist anymore. I know that this isn't a structured video. I sat down and I just felt like filming and talking. I was watching a video about this on YouTube and I was just getting so frustrated. I don't know why I was getting this frustrated, but I feel like we need to start promoting books that are fun and cool and whimsy and whatever it is that you want, that also explore more complex themes at the same time, where we can sit down and have a conversation with each other about the going-ons of whatever character, of whatever political message that this book carries. Like a book that is calling out racism or classism or segregation, or especially right now, ICE. Just appalled at what's going on in America right now, or the United States, if you will, because we're on a continent. But however, instead of just shitting on BookTok as a whole this entire video, I also want to, recognize that there are people within this community, not just on BookTok, but on YouTube. One of my favorite BookTube people right now is Frankie. Is his name Frankie? Just wait. Frankie's Shelf. I've been watching Frankie for a long time, like longer than a year, and the way that he speaks is so intelligent. I could honestly never, ever, ever, ever speak with that level of clarity and be able to speak with that level of, education. Like the way, and the books that he speaks about, even if the books themselves aren't intelligent, the way that he dissects it and talks about the writing while also being able to appreciate that a book is fun is just incredible. There are so many BookTokers that are recommending diverse reads that feature characters that aren't just white, or reads that are criticizing the current, government or political landscape, or pointing out social issues. And I think that's amazing. And I love that there's still a place for that on, BookTok and YouTube. But my problem is that since 2020, since, people have gotten way into BookTube, is that people are in it for the check. They're in it for the bag, which I understand. If I was making money from this, I'd be happy as fuck. I want to make money. Money is amazing. Everyone needs money. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality of things. However, I can't help but feel a little bit insulted that there are people that just perform this aesthetic and perform this lifestyle that they don't really live or believe in, because that's shaping the books that are being released and picked up by the publishing houses. If there was a good mix of actual, or I don't want to say actual writers, because if you're published, you're considered a writer, but books that were written thoughtfully and carefully and went through so many rounds of editing, that aren't just being pushed out for trends or whatever, or being able to be marketed on BookTok. I think that there should be a fair balance, and there isn't, because the books that are selling are the ones that are brain rot, that are brainless, and don't require thought. Sorry. I know, I don't mean to yell at you guys. I'm so sorry. And also now with how AI is going, with how quick the publishing industry is moving, publishers, I believe, are starting to use AI and publish AI knowingly. I believe that Silver Elite, a book that I read, was fully AI. I don't believe that book, well, I think it was a mix. I don't think that it was entirely written by a person or one singular person. And it's disturbing, honestly, that AI is being allowed into these creative spaces. And I see creators on here, I see you and I judge you, that are using AI to make these little intros or these little artworks for their videos. Like, bro, you have 200,000 subscribers. Just pay a fucking artist $15 fucking to give you a decent image. Seriously, you don't need to be using AI. There's no reason or excuse to use AI in that way to take away from a creative person's work. There are ways to use AI, and the reality is that AI is a thing now. But there's ways to use it, and the way that it's being used is not the correct way, and I think it's only going to get worse. If you think it's bad right now, girl, do I have news for you? Do I have news for you? Oh shit. I'm just so angry that I honestly feel like I can't even speak right now. I can't even speak. So I can't say that there's no hate towards creators that indulge purely in trends and whatnot, because I understand there's an algorithm. I'm not attacking them personally as people. I'm attacking their choices that they're making. While I understand their choices and the reasoning behind it, and I can see through it, not everyone can. And I think that misleading people and saying this is the greatest book you're ever going to read and you haven't even read it, or it truly is just a trash book, especially with the economy right now, with how expensive books are. Even if you... Like, I feel like you should go to the library. I go to the library sometimes, and I'm going to start going even more. But you should not be recommending books that you haven't read, that you didn't enjoy. I feel like we should be able to be honest, because also on BookTok, people now are saying that if you have a negative opinion to keep it to yourself because it's going to hurt the feelings of the author. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I didn't know. Book reviews are not for authors. Repeat it with me, kids. Book reviews are not for authors. Book reviews are for readers to decide if they want to read something. It's not for them. It's not for the people who are writing the book. Oh my God, people are so fucking dumb. People can't think for themselves anymore, and it's concerning to me. I'm concerned for people who can't think, that see something negative and assume that it's hate or intended to hurt somebody's feelings. Sure, sometimes people are too harsh. People are too harsh on books sometimes, but I've seen reviews that were completely reasonable and people were freaking out about it and like, we need to cancel this person is so bad, this person is horrible. Shut the fuck up. Leave it alone. Stop speaking. Please. Anyways, I am done yelling at you guys. I'm done yelling at you. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go now, but I hope you subscribe. I'm gonna be posting more bookish content. I want to be a content creator. It's been my dream since I was younger. It's always been something that I've wanted to do. I'm going to be trying a few different things, and for now I'm going to stick to book content and see how it goes. I'm pushing myself to actually read more this year because last year I did not read enough. Not enough. There was months where I didn't read books for 3 months in a row. I'm going to really start challenging myself to read at least like even 3 books a month or 4 books a month. A book a week I think is reasonable. Because I do work. I have a job. Anyways, I'm going to let you go. Goodbye. I love you. Bye.